Hey everyone, it's Michael from Chess Lifestyle, and yeah, today I've got quite a fun video for you guys. And let me just make sure this is working. Yeah, so basically, I'm thinking of getting back into some Twitch streaming, and recently I've had like a bunch of different ideas about what exactly I want to train. Do I want to make it more fun? Do I want to make it more educational? And basically I've come up with quite a nice challenge. And as you can see from the top of the screen, I've got this random number of today's training, 37 minutes. So what is this all about? So my idea is that, as you guys know, obviously you guys know if you're watching this video, I have a chess lifestyle YouTube channel, right? And in recent months, I guess, like we've been doing quite well in terms of like views and subscribers. And as you can see here, we've got 2,230 subscribers to the Chess Lifestyle grind, and my plan basically was that I wanted to spend 2,230 seconds on chess tactics a day, and I would stream these 37 minutes of training. And basically, the more subscribers we get, the more I'm going to train. So for this first video that I'm uploading, yeah, I'm not going to have any viewers, I suspect, because I haven't told anyone that I'm going to start doing this. But hopefully after I upload the video onto YouTube, then we can actually get some viewers and get this whole Twitch grind going, and we can all train together, and it should be a lot of fun. So basically, as you know, like my last video that I posted was about a kind of recap of like the latter half of 2022 and 2023, and what kind of struggles I had along the way, right? And a comment that was made, which I actually deleted, but you know, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and show you guys. But basically, you know, you don't get always the most positive of comments on YouTube. Especially when you start to grow a bit bigger. And yeah, I was getting called like, you know, some snowflake with no fighting spirit, whatever. But actually, this guy does have a fair point, which is that, yeah, I mean, if my tactical ability isn't up to scratch, then yeah, trying to reach rating heights is definitely very difficult. Well, the good news is all of the chess knowledge that I have gained is not going to go to waste. So if I just up my tactics, implement all of these chess pieces of knowledge that I've gained, then okay, we'll see if we can reach 2200 faster than 5 to 10 years, as this guy suggests. So what I wanted to do actually today, since it's almost time for my 37 minutes of training, is I want to share with you a website that I actually managed to get a free subscription to as a result of one of these Outpost chess tournaments. Now, if you haven't heard of Outpost, it's a great website to connect players, coaches, whoever with each other. And it's a really nice interface as well, but they also host these free tournaments and they have cash prizes. So this is really, really nice just to play for a bit of fun. And they also have lucky prizes. So, you know, even if you're a bad player, it doesn't matter, like you might be in the chance of winning a lucky prize. And I played a very bad tournament. I came 70th, I think, out of like 200, which given my starting rank was probably like 30 or 40. Yeah, it was definitely a massive underperformance. But I did win a prize. And I won a 1-month subscription to this website called Chess Neurons, which I've been having a go with. And actually, it's really, really nice because every day they send you 5 puzzles easy, 5 puzzles hard. And actually, today I was going through these puzzles with a student of mine. And yeah, it was actually really good just to discuss the moves and come up with a solution. So, for instance, we can do this one. Just to show you. Okay, I see the 37 minutes is starting in 4 seconds, but I'll quickly recap this. So, this is a position. Actually, you know what? Okay, we gotta stick to this, right? 37 minutes is starting now. The time has spoken. Let's do one new together. So I'll be practicing my tactics alongside you guys. So this is the first position. Hopefully you can see the whole board. Oh, is my face gonna get in the way? Oh, my face does get in the way. Okay, let me quickly change this. Okay, Hopefully this will work. Okay, you can see the whole board. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so yeah, let's give this a go. For the record, these may not be outright winning. They may also be positional. So this isn't completely tactical, but still, I'm being forced to calculate. Still, it's a puzzle to solve. I'm considering this within the realms of tactics training. So black to play. Let's have a think. I've got some ideas, but I'm a little bit concerned of this position. Okay, I think I've got my move. I'm not completely satisfied, but this is my logic. So basically, at first, I evaluated the position to be slightly better for black because we are a pawn up. However, there are opposite colored bishops on the board. So this gives the position slightly more drawing tendencies. And then I started to realize, well, actually, when we look at this position, white's rook is actually extremely well placed, even threatening this rook d8 move, which, okay, isn't a big problem immediately, but we do have to watch out for. So I started to think, okay, maybe, we don't ideally want to have our bishop so passive, right? So maybe the best thing to do would be to play g6. But the issue here is that I think either rook d8 first or maybe just rook d7 immediately. I think rook d8 first, provoking king g7 and then rook d7 is even better. But the point is that actually white can generate this attack on f7. So the fact that white can actually cause problems here, and the fact that they'll be faster, because for instance, if we play g6 and they go rook d8, rook d7, and we try and counterattack on their pawn, they're going to be taking first. So I think basically my conclusion is that white's activity and the fact that our king is slightly weak means that we actually should not be so ambitious to play for a win with such a move like g6, and instead play the move rook d2, just prevent this rook from being as active. But now I'm realizing after rook d2 there's rook c1. I didn't consider that. So I'm starting to think maybe I've missed something a bit more obvious. Because rook d2, rook c1, now that I've got the exact same problems. And how am I dealing with this? Oh my god, this is this is embarrassing. I'm gonna spend 37 minutes on just this problem alone. But yeah, I guess, this proves that this is definitely an area that I need to work on if this is such an issue. I guess one other way to play maybe is just bishop d2. Actually, I should have, it's such a awkward looking move to keep your rook defending this bishop, but actually in order to inactivate this rook, it might not be necessary. Surprisingly. But okay, is this actually a long-term solution? Like, what if just king f1, king e2? Like, is this not going to be a problem? Like, we can't reinforce this piece. This king is so bad. So what on earth is this position and why is it so hard? Like, I'm now considering, like, maybe king f8 with ideas of, like, on rook d7 playing f6 now. But okay, this doesn't work. This is dropping. This is a problem. Oh, this is supposed to be easy. At least during my chess lesson, the last 3 exercises I got right. So I could, at least show to my student that I knew what I was doing. But what the hell? I'm probably missing something super obvious. I don't understand. I'm even considering some ridiculous ideas like rook takes b3. With the idea that if pawn takes, then we could play a move like f6 and just like claim that this is like some fortress. But even after rook takes b3, they can even throw in this check first and then take. And I'm really not convinced that's a fortress because they can round up this pawn and we can't even protect this pawn. So it can't be the sack. So what other candidate moves am I missing? I feel like I've looked at everything now. Oh boy. I don't know what else to look at. Everything looks bad. I mean, maybe then the best idea is to play g6. And if they play like check and rook d7, now I sack. Pawn takes him in a5 and I just say I hold. Maybe this is the solution. Like, I really don't see anything else. But it seems, this seems hard. Like, oh god, there goes my phone. Just in case chat were to become active, I've got my phone ready for chat. But yeah, no, I'm gonna go with g6. That's my solution. That's incorrect. Oh my. I mean, I reckon that could be a fortress, right? Like g6, and then playing for the idea after this move. Now I sack and play for a5, and I think this can hold. But obviously, I'm missing something really simple. I just don't know what it is. Like, I guess another one could be rook here, and then just playing like rook here, with the idea that if they come down, then I can play bishop f8. Like maybe this is also, maybe this is a better way to hold, right? So let's try this. Also not right. Am I tripping? This is where having chat would be really handy to give me some support. Yeah, I literally don't know. Like genuinely, what am I missing here? Like, am I getting the board wrong? Like, are the pieces moving in the opposite direction? Like, what is going on? Okay, I'm gonna show the solution. I'm really out of ideas. I've literally tried two candidates and both didn't work. So, okay, let's try and understand. So, bishop d2. So I considered this move, but I was really afraid of this plan. But what I'm understanding is, okay, as soon as the king comes to e2, then the bishop can move somewhere with discovered check. So it's probably then not an issue, and that's why this is the best way to shut down white's activity. How interesting. So rook d2, yeah, okay, so it doesn't even give rook c1, it just says that this is a draw, which I was already accepting and being happy with. And it doesn't even give... So actually, I should explain a bit more. So I believe these comments are by a grandmaster. Yeah, this man, Ankit Rajpara. So he's gone through all of the puzzles and he's given his own explanation. So it's a really nice resource. But yeah, he doesn't even give g6 as an option, I think. So, okay, I would think that g6 is reasonable. But the point is, yeah, we're playing for the win. And yeah, bishop d2 is the way. So, yeah, I completely missed that. Yeah, this isn't losing a piece. Well, okay, not losing a piece, but not, you know, causing a big problem where the white rook will get active. And, yeah, we managed to avoid any problems. Okay, that's really useful. So, okay, we didn't get that one. But yeah, that's good to note. So let's move on. Okay. So again, white's turn to move. Try and solve it yourself, and then we'll discuss. So yeah, just to discuss the last one actually. So yeah, the I had the right idea, but I didn't look deep enough. So that's something good to note. Like I should just calculate that bit further, and see if the idea does actually work. I've definitely got a move that I would be happy to play. I'm just wondering if there's something even stronger that maybe I can do. Okay, so I think I'm happy with my move. So my issue in this position, um, is that okay? Materials equal king safety. Maybe my king is slightly weaker, but the real point of this position is that what black has this huge pressure on e4, and if this pawn drops, well then these pawns are dropping, and the whole position collapses, right? So I'm trying to look for a solution to defending this, and there's no good just defending it with a rook because there are two attackers and we've got zero defenders right now. So we need to defend it with a piece. Now, knight c3 would be the most natural square to defend because on knight f2 this blocks the rook and, there are problems. But knight c3 can be met with bishop takes c3, and even though black typically doesn't want to give up this bishop, I considered as well, like when they take, maybe we can take here, but I think that they can just win this pawn and this is still an issue. So I think taking this knight is very legit, and then winning a pawn, and thus winning a bunch of pawns. So I think therefore, we want to be able to play knight c3, but this is the problem, so we solve the problem. Oh my god. I'm literally on 0 for 2, I am so upset. Like, I literally thought that, okay, we take the knight, bishop takes, and then knight c3. We hit the rook. I didn't think that it will be an issue if rook b4. Like, worst case scenario, we just play rook b1 and we hold the position. I guess the problem is that, yeah, let's say we play bishop takes, knight c3, rook b1, and they just drop back to g7. I guess my knight isn't so stable, right? Like, I'm defending it from a dark square and the bishop can still attack it. So ultimately, this is going to be a problem. Oh god, there's a much nicer, cleaner way to do it. You can just play f6. And I guess after the bishop moves to f8, because they have to keep defending the knight, now you can play knight c3. And I guess this is a much better case scenario, because this bishop is absolutely horrendous. You keep this strong bishop that might be able to, I don't know, put pressure, but most importantly, you secure the knight on c3. So yeah, like the reason why I couldn't bring myself to play f6 or consider it as a proper move is because it just kind of looks ugly to me. Like, ideally, I would want to have this scenario where I can always take back the pawn with my rook, right? And that looks more harmonious. But f6, it kind of breaks up this, this cluster of pawns. And to me, this looks kind of ugly, but concretely, this is what needs to be done. And actually, this pawn is probably going to be a strength, not a weakness, right? Like, even though it looks disconnected from the pawns, well, this bishop ain't attacking it, this knight can't attack it, unless there's some clever maneuver like this. But even so, okay, we've got a rook defending it. There's no way to add another attacker. So this is where, like, yeah, I can definitely see that, all of this blitz and bullet playing, like, I built up some kind of intuition about what's safe, what's not safe, and in openings that I know very well, this is paying off well. But okay, as you can see, in a foreign position, this is not working so well. So I assume f6 is right, and this indeed is the move. So yeah, the only issue with I don't think he even gives this, does he? Yeah, so literally, like, this is a problem with sometimes with grandmasters trying to teach chess to amateurs, is that they don't really understand the amateur's mind, right? So he's given like some alternatives, but okay, actually here I don't think he even gives alternatives. But the point is, bishop takes h6 should be an alternative, and it should be explained why this is wrong for the reasons that I gave. I assume it's going to be this reason. So knight c3, rook b4, and okay, even bishop e3 with bishop d4, but it's the same idea, right? This is the exact same idea as bishop g7. Although there's f6 here. Okay, so yeah, clearly my calculation needs a lot of work, right? F6 is actually solving my problem, and then this would be completely justified. But this very, very clever bishop e3 with bishop d4 is then solving the problem for black. So actually this bishop takes h6 has to be included, which is why these kind of like, these websites, they're not perfect, and they definitely could be improved. But that's why you need an amateur to like kind of like proof test these positions. Maybe I should get in touch with the guy who made this website. But yeah, very, very interesting. 0 for 2. 0 for 2. That's very rough. But yeah, as we can see, really good calculation exercise there, and I think we've understood something from this. So I basically need to look harder for resources from my opponent, and not just assume that I've solved the position without looking deep enough. So that's very good. Very nice. Okay, let's do some more. So okay, we failed at the easy. Let's see if we can do the hard. So let's try and solve this. Okay. Also, for the record, just like I haven't got any messages on chat yet, and in the past, I definitely probably would have. Not from like someone like a subscriber, but like someone just random, right? But I saw like nowadays on Twitch, on chess, like, yo, it's completely saturated. Like so many people streaming chess nowadays. It's insane. Great to see though. Really great to see. But okay, let's keep this up. So black's turn to move, evaluate the position, and then find the best move. I feel like I've got my answer already, but I've learned my lesson that I should really try and refute my ideas, right? Like not just be content with some positional justification without the concrete analysis behind it. Hey, we got a comment on Twitch, and it's spam. Let's go. Oh boy. Oh god. Yeah, no. This is really good though, because yeah, I'm so impatient to actually properly calculate nowadays. So this is really good. I'll discuss my thoughts in a second, but Honestly, I don't. Okay, no, I need to stop being lazy. Mm, I think this has to be good. Okay, I think I've got my move. I'm very nervous to play it though, and but at the same time, I don't really see what else can be done. So my move is knight c3. Um, Basically, material is even, and we've got this imbalance in pawn structure. King safety wise, probably both sides are roughly the same in terms of safety. However, one interesting difference I can note is that, if white eventually improves their pawn structure with this move g3, we get this interesting case where white's got a dark squared bishop with dark squared pawns, while black has a dark squared bishop with light squared pawns. So on the king side, so it kind of feels to me that if we can play a position where it's just bishop and queen against bishop and queen, and we've got this bishop, I feel like not only will our king be safer, but also our bishop will be happier in this pawn structure. So for that reason, I felt like knight c3 would be good. I mean, if just trades, basically we keep the file, we keep the better bishop. This d4 pawn becomes a weakness we can target, and I felt pretty content with that position. If queen c1, we've got knight e2, which is a fork, and then if queen c2, then I can bail out with this move queen takes e4. And we trade by force. For the record as well, there's no knight check because we just take it, and then if they recapture in any way, we win a queen. So this is the critical move. And then my idea was I wanted to take on e4, and they take my knight. And I was trying to understand, like, is this good for me or not? Because, okay, I do have to worry about, potentially queen c8 check and bishop h6 with some devastating consequences. But I felt like at the very least, I can just bring my queen back to b7, cover these entry points for the queen, and I felt like I had to be slightly better. Like, I feel like this pawn is backwards. If they try and unravel immediately, I can always just take with the pawn and would just be a pawn up. So I felt like black should be slightly better, and I feel like I can grind this position. So I didn't see anything that was better. Maybe I've missed something that's more obviously stronger, but this was my logic behind knight c3. And of course, it's incorrect. So, glad we're putting in this work. Right, so, okay, I don't know if it's like outright wrong or if it's just not as strong as some alternative. So, I guess we gotta keep looking. We gotta find find a stronger move. This is mad though. Like, I'm on 0 out of 3, and like I feel like like my online chess hasn't been going so bad. So it's like yeah, you can really get places in online chess without necessarily being so accurate with your chess. Um, but yeah, I guess this is actually not so simple. I mean, okay, I worked so hard to trade off his knight, but actually, is my knight not just quite strong here? Like, maybe my knight is, blockading this pawn, controlling some nice squares in the center, on an outpost. Sure, this knight is good as well, but maybe there's no need to, just make that trade, right? And if that's the case, then is it not worth actually trying to mobilize my majority already? Like, if there's actually no threat on my king, then why am I working so hard to trade off this piece? Like, actually, the more I look at it, I'm thinking, like, yeah, why even do that? Like, my queen's already controlling this file. This queen is not active at all. Why am I creating potential problems with knight c6? So, what if I just play b5 and start pushing these pawns forward? Like, does white have any counterplay at all? I mean, like, white can try and bring this knight in, maybe after b5, and put pressure here. But then we can already push b4. And okay, we're seriously making progress with pushing this pawn, I think. Again, not the right answer. So, I think... Okay. I actually don't know whether it's... Maybe you can let me know in the comments below if you think it's worth searching harder to try and find a solution, or if it's time to understand the solution and move on to the next. Because I'm only training for 37 minutes as well. So, it's about, like, efficiency as well as effective training. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. Like, I mean, if his knight was hanging, then sure, but right now it's not. Like, is there literally, like, some tactic here that I'm missing? Like, what am I missing? I mean, I also noticed that this is kind of something similar, where maybe the queen is, like, not as easily as activated. But I didn't see, like, what's the real difference between that and knight c3. Like, it's the same to me. Yeah, absolutely clueless. Man, this is hilarious. I'm going to get all of these wrong. Okay, let's show the solution. Queen c4. This move helps black in improving their queen's position and putting pressure on the backwards d4 pawn. Right, I mean, I acknowledged this was a weakness. I just didn't feel like I was in the right state to already attack it. But maybe, yeah, I guess why not? Like, my knight's strong, my bishop's well placed. Like, time to just activate my pieces. So queen c4, what's the harm in just, like, defending it? Like, am I able to bring another attacker to this pawn? Like, that was my kind of feeling. Like, I didn't even bother attacking it because it's just like, the guy can defend it. But what's the point? Is queen b2 even the main move? Oh, and now we see the tactics, right? You remember how I said, like, oh, if this knight was undefended, but no, it's defended by the queen. So, okay, that's a really, really interesting thing we've spotted. So, in this position at the start, right? Oh, it's not letting me go back. Yeah, in this position at the start, sure, white is kind of holding everything together, right? Like, putting their pieces on decent squares, the knight is well protected. But by adding a bit of pressure, we cause white to, I don't know, unharmonize that position just enough. And now, since there's disconnection between the pieces, then there is more chance of tactics. So bishop takes e5, and we win a pawn. Nice. So I think to actually spot this tactic, like, super quick is very difficult. But what you can spot is playing this improving move and then calculating that there might be a tactic here. So that's really cool. That's really, really nice. So, okay, if bishop e3 then, which is the other main move to defend this pawn, what is the plan after that? Like, for sure, if bishop e3 has had to be played, then this is definitely a concession because this bishop is far less active on e3 than it is on g5. So, okay, if we can provoke bishop e3, What's the plan? Okay, the move that came to mind was queen d3, with the idea of putting pressure on the bishop as well as keeping pressure on the pawn. But okay, that drops the queen, so that's probably not ideal. So bishop e3. How would we play? I think it's also interesting to evaluate this knight takes pawn takes structure. Like, is the e3 pawn going to be weak enough for us to win? Or is this knight going to be too strong in combination with the queen on an attack against our king? I don't see this queen coming in quickly. So if queen c4, bishop e3, knight takes, pawn takes, and say, I don't know, maybe bishop h6? Doesn't seem so easy for white to defend. Like, maybe if, like, king f2, we can just play queen c3. No, we can't. The knight's still on the board. So what can we do? Yeah, that's actually not so simple. So maybe then instead, actually, we should play queen c4, bishop e3, takes, and play queen e2 in order to stop the king defending. Now, this does allow the queen to defend, or maybe even take for open file. I don't know what's better. Like, yeah, actually, queen c1 does both, so why not do that? And then maybe if bishop h6, queen c8 check, king g7. There's not an immediate mate. And actually, if knight f6, trying to threaten mate, maybe we mate first with bishop takes e3 check. And okay, the king can move to h2 or h1. And okay, I reckon we have at least a papet. I don't know if we've got mate. But okay, all seems very messy. But for sure, queen c4 provoking bishop e3 has to be good. And I guess then the question is this going to be enough, or do we want to play it safe and just start pushing these pawns? God, I don't like answering that question. It's too much. It's too critical. You see, this is the laziness coming in. Like, I've really become very lazy recently. Like, would I go for it? I mean, definitely in a blitz game, I would not go for it, right? I think I would just play queen c4, take and just play like maybe I would sorry, I wouldn't even take, like I'd just play like b5. I just play b5 and like just start marching these pawns and not risk these complications. But yeah, since we are trying to improve our blitz and we're not trying to improve classical right now, that is my solution. I'm going to go queen c4 and not take. Okay, apparently we do take. We do play queen e2. Okay, this is exactly what we looked at. Yeah, I thought queen b3 isn't active enough. So, okay, even dropping a knight. Okay, that would have been nice to spot. And bishop h6. Wow, knight g5. So, okay, clearly this is actually just lost then, I guess. So we go bishop takes h6. Okay, if king h1. We can go queen e1 and queen takes h4 with mate. Okay, and if king h2, where's our mate? We can give a check. Okay, if king h3, we've got mate. And if king back, yeah, then we can mate. Or if king g1, we can mate. So, okay, it leads to mate. Fair. So, okay, maybe I should have tried to calculate that myself. But, okay, knight g5, therefore, and black manages to gain a pawn. And the knight and queen are no longer able to coordinate in such an effective way. I mean, we can always just chop the knight as well. So, okay, good to see. Right, welcome Checkmate a lot. Glad to have you on the stream. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing these streams every day Just my 37 minutes of chess, unless I suddenly get a new wave of subscriptions to YouTube. You might have to scroll back to the introduction to hear about that. Right. Okay. That also leads to mate. Fair enough. Um, yeah. I think both of them led to mate. So, yeah. Either or. But okay. Seems like we have 1 minute left. Let's do another puzzle. We'll probably go over the time, but whatever. Okay. So, black's turn to play. Evaluate the position. Find the correct solution. Actually, I might need to restart this music. Yeah, let's go back. Like, for the record, this would not be a position where I'd think that I have some tactical blow. And yeah, for anyone joining the stream, this is also positional solutions as well. So they're not necessarily tactical ones. But I don't know, if you have a forcing sequence that leads to a positional gain, is that considered a tactic, even if you're not winning material or mating? I'd probably consider it still is. Okay, I'm trying to use philosophy to distract myself from the fact that the answer's not coming instantly, which is exactly the point of calculation and these puzzles. Like, straight up in a normal game, I'm just developing my knight. Like, why not develop a knight, connect the rooks, occupy the c file, like, have very decent winning chances. Like, maybe that's even the solution, right? But I don't know. I have a feeling it's not going to be that. I have another idea, but I feel like it's worse than just playing knight d7. So okay, the issue is that I guess like white is gonna castle next, and maybe begin to unravel. Like after castling, then white can play rook c. What? No, the point is the a5 pawn is hanging. That's the point. But what white can do is, let's say after castles, play queen b3, which they couldn't do at the start because the rook on a1 hangs, right? But after castles, they can play queen b3, and maybe this is annoying. Although, okay, we have enough of an advantage. Just play knight d7, castles, and just play like rook c8. And if they play queen b3, okay, we can either ignore it or take it, but whichever, we just like dominate the c file. We just play rook c2, and we have to be close to something. Like I would not even bother here. I would just play knight d7. So much so that I'm just gonna play it. Incorrect. Okay, let's see. Checkmate a lot. Oh, I'd play knight d7 quite quickly. a6 is the only other idea. Right, that was my second idea as well. I thought like maybe if we can provoke b6, then we can play with knight c6, and maybe this is something, right? But I even thought like him just taking. I thought like this is just good for him, because if we take with a knight, the b7 pawn is weak on the open file. Or if we take with the pawn, this pawn seems quite weak to an eventual like d4 push. But I guess maybe concretely after knight takes a6, are we very, very fast to attack? So a6, pawn takes, knight takes, and castles. If we play knight here, I feel like white could always play d4. So is then the point that we play a6, and then on castles maybe play d4, and maybe after e4 then is this going to be a big problem. Like, maybe concretely there isn't actually a way to... Hold, but no, you can still play queen b3, actually. No, because the pawn is now defending the queen, so then you could just take. I think. Because after takes, this is getting very complicated. Very, very complicated. Like, I can't be asked. I just played knight d7. I just played knight d7. But yeah, maybe a6 is actually working somehow. Interesting. Ah, you just thought rook takes a6. I didn't even see that. I didn't even consider rook takes for some reason. Right, well, that changes things. And okay, if b6 then, are we actually, well, knight developing and putting pressure on this pawn? This looks very good. This looks very good. Are we actually in time to win this pawn? So let's say we play knight c6 and they castle and we take. Is there anything they can do to us? Like, what if they play knight b1? As weird as it looks. Okay, we can still play queen b4. They can play rook a4. Oh, this is getting so messy. Ah, but then I can always take on b6. So then I'm fine. Okay, interesting. So interesting. So just a6 and knight c6. Yeah, targeting the a5 pawn. Fantastic. So if that's the annoying thing. If a6 and b6, I was very happy to play knight c6, but then I thought this wasn't so good because I was evaluating the result of this, and again I was jumping to positional conclusions of, okay, this pawn is going to be weak, okay, this pawn is going to be weak, and not really giving the position enough thought. Like, okay, I completely missed this candidate move, and even knight takes is a bit more interesting than I was giving credit for. Like, actually, let's explore knight takes. Okay, it says it's equal, right? And here, okay, this is like some line that wait, was this the move we were discussing? I'm looking at it now, and why can't they just do this? What were we just looking at, or was I completely calculating wrong? Like, what's wrong with this? Nothing. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I was looking at in that last position. Like, why I was worried that I couldn't do this. And I came to the conclusion that I had to push the pawn or something like this, but... Oh, that was the point. Knight b4 can just be met with this. So I was thinking, what happens if d4? But okay, yeah, this is fine. This is fine with these ideas. No, it's not. See, so okay, I already got the vibe that this is way too complicated and things can go wrong. So like my intuition here was good, even though my calculation wasn't, right? Like I thought that somehow I was getting a... No, I just said this was complicated, right? So yeah, definitely this is complicated, but this just picking up a pawn isn't. So okay, I need to just get better with my candidate moves, and that will improve. But as you can see, the timer alerting lunch over. I should change that to training over, actually. Training over. And then that'll be good for next time. So yeah, I've done my 2,230 seconds that I was required to do for my 2,230 loyal subscribers to the channel. And that's it for today. So I will be back tomorrow and the day after and the day after for however long it takes before I actually start getting a tactic correct. And I guess until then, see you in the next time. Thanks for coming along, Checkmate a lot as well. Really appreciate the support, and thanks to all the Patreon subs too. Hope you guys are getting a lot out of the content.